Yenya, Obi na
Apomi ye there.
I don't. That's right.
Nyame adom.
We share here for power.
Oh, Salmon.
Obo life.
Oh.
Ya lawyer for the name somebody. We dey quote me tie enquire shirt you there say.
Me show no mission. You two are no metie.
Yeah.
Bantama ye boko.
Adom bibia boko.
And Nyame ase. And I don't know who say the Ashanti Regional Caucus in Parliament, mo ye press conference.
Enra.
And who address a press conference because they are about roads in the region. But more on Suame Interchange, you know.
And no ne can was.
And no mo can was. But what's the problem? Because him say mo say ase. And I say abayi to aswana. In the problem near then.
Okay. Didi kan ma me fa nchama wati fo nyina. Me say programming constituency for pa.
Sure.
Nti no basa na say me chia wo.
Yes.
Na abrebia no me fa konya e da wo mase. Say abrebia wo time chi. Na o mama makonya na me somo mra che be fi. And now last week and honorable road minister
yes
was granting interview be announcement. The announcement was major. Was say Suame Interchange project. The design on a 40.
Okay.
4 levels.
40 to say Amasamandi. Pokwase. Okay.
Now was it aban I decided say omo ye no 2 tier. Unisa audio no. In fact, I don't because if you don't have it, then our discussion will not be
okay.
Me farmer a year na dom de kana.
And to fasten the Dominic no monche na fe ye nhwe se betimi aboa. And where the audio of minister announcement,
no a video.
Okay. Okay. Into all the sending, they will pull the audio for us now. After yetimi abo, since that would put the conversation in the right perspective. Na yetimi abo.
Ma send ya ma Dominic.
Okay.
Na ni video no. Last week ya.
Okay.
Was see omo osi scanning ho. Esan say scanning ho ntino. Project no instead of 4 no, omo ye 2.
Omo te so about 2.
Na dachi sisika ba omo be to aso aye no 4.
Okay.
Asema kan you know. Enti join na am say I do it there. Because you see design na ye no enye say bi obi na tin ba bi na say yenye 4 keke. The design was to address a specific problem in Kumasi. And then in Kumasi, what's sorry no pa traffic which made the traffic be 2 hours
in Kumasi.
Upon now Kufia rush hour which made Dimbe 2 hours. And it's all because you need what we call these grade separated interchanges, a bit distributed traffic. No?
Yes.
And one of such a year is Suame Interchange. It would be magnificent, iconic project for the good people of Kumasi and Asante. And now all of a sudden, what's change up to? The two no will not address the problem. Even the current problem, it will not, and the future problem, no, it will not, because Kumasi is growing, the fastest growing city. It is also a transportation hub. When we say Kumasi, we say all parts of the country offer Kumasi because it's a nodal city. Yes. It sits at the right of the
yes.
And my traffic in the Ebaho, and it also connects economic centers, market zones, Techiman, and Kentampo. You know, all these are big market zones. And the Kumasi traffic, the idea here, idea say, and yes, I designed by. And it's have 2 tier no can there's nowhere.
It makes me a solve problem. And to start project.
Exactly. And the minister no asma or can no say, Sikeni Hunti and a 2 tier.
Yes. But one can say, because meaning for this project, a loan funded, and I say GOG. Put it to GOG.
Okay, so I'll come to that.
Okay,
I'll come to the funding. How is
because I would want to believe that maybe funding challenge in maybe or in the face say or year 2 latest come out about it.
I know kind in this video.
Okay,
it can make me naka wabo.
Okay, okay,
okay. Me feel say a inconsistent, a contradiction
within some kind earlier
last week. No, I'm wondering, say, I don't know, in just less than a week, what taking two positions are contradictory of each other, inconsistent. And I do want to tell you.
Okay.
Tiniamo we ni ne hu asema okay and the man so
chumwe enti omunye eyina fi yintimi emoye boaden we can ba say utie me na wo question bi ma honorable member of parliament a ubetimi e de abre 0548 443 523 0548 443 523 na yentumi intio na wonso wo question bi wo adwentra ubetimi e de abrayen ye begimre na yakan e de amamo. I'll deal with some other messages while we wait to play that voice. But we say, Obi, good afternoon. I want to clarify a statement I made a few days ago in your studio about the closure of the honorary consulate in the US of A. I blame the NDC government and party for halting the activities of the honorary consulate in the US of A. I do not believe, though, that Paul de Souso is the one that shut down the activities of this consulate. But I blame him as acting chairman of the NDC in Massachusetts, not using his influence to advise against such a move. Raymond Boateng, or a vice chair, NPP USA, Massachusetts, and Onodi way abrayen. We say Obi good day and greetings to Obaya, NPP USA branch chairperson, hoping to see her win the NPP national first vice chairperson position. Gamel or Ewutu Obra Chere and Onodi way abrayen. Yedase Papa Gamel for your message. Ain't let me see the other ones. We say Obi good afternoon. Please, I asked you this question last year, but you didn't answer my question. I asked why some ministries are for and some are off. Please help me. Thank you. Ejay Ewotema. Ejay? That's an interesting question. But I'll get you the response, don't worry. We say, Obi, good afternoon. My regards to Honorable Asenso-Boakye. This is Reverend Ebenezer Akoto Quenin in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. In the ref, good day to you. Thanks for doing the listening. Obi, please. My problem is with WAEC. Can you please get them to your studio and ask them when they would start the second series of the private candidate exams and when the results will be released? And also, last year's NOVDEC, when would it be released, please? Okay, that's a rather very, very important question. Bama Memra Nafeyenshe in Samoa, the Honorable Minister in charge of roads and highways, the Honorable Governors Agboja Ekano last week, Efa Suame Interchange project. No, take a listen.
The previous government awarded a project called the Suame Interchange. Yeah, it was a loan agreement, and because of our debt situation, the contractor can't draw down, and the contractor is struggling on the site. What we want to do is to work to complete a number of the levels. We are told that if we complete the first two levels, for now, it will address significantly the traffic situation, whilst we think of doing the rest in the future when we raise the money. So those who are asking, why are we not doing the four? It's simply because we don't have the money, because currently the contractor hasn't got any money at all to do anything. I think it's better to do something about it rather than waiting until we find the loan to do that. And then when you get to Sunyani, the previous NDC government attempted building the previous government.
Asempa FM.
Enti governance Agboja voice no for the sake of clarity, me sign so aboni bio for the second time went in here sign etie bio. Honorable governance Agboja.
The previous government awarded a project called the Suame Interchange. Yeah, it was a loan agreement, and because of our debt situation, the contractor can't draw down, and the contractor is struggling on the site. What we want to do is to work to complete a number of the levels. We are told that if we complete the first two levels, for now, it will address significantly the traffic situation, whilst we think of doing the rest in the future when we raise the money. So those who are asking, why are we not doing the 4? It's simply because we don't have the money. Because currently, the contractor hasn't got any money at all to do anything. I think it's better to do something about it rather than waiting until we find the loan to do that. And then when you get to Sunyani, the previous NDC government attempted building. The previous government.
Asempa FM.
Into Honorable Asenso-Boakye voice, no, in the. Is he not clear? Say a loan project. Your debt situation in the contractor need to mean drawdowns in Kano. Indeed, they are stuck. Tiabaya, your majo onye omunye 2, not later omunye ska omaye 2 na account. Okay, that is clear enough.
Okay, so this project, the financing was a loan agreement from Dashe Bank,
okay,
from Spain,
okay,
and Parliament approved the project.
Saying,
I believe 140 million dollars. In the course of the year, I'll give you the. Into a basano, now all was set for the project to start. And a debt restructuring the buy, which is no fault of anybody. The problem, the financial crunch, the world experience, into almost pollute resources, almost stop the disbursement,
release,
until quickly, the government, Nana Akufo-Addo, are buying, tries to reprioritize its infrastructure financing. Until now, you just can be free, Afrexim Bank, until you move be share, sir. Suame Interchange. And we are from the period of 2024. Now, scan between 2023 to 2024. Scan on more sites a year.
But some ABSS cano was a drop in a nose, not in Drushe and
the Afrexim there, not intimate. No doubt about that.
Yes.
But of course, I mean, government there, when I share a buying sikasem, and priority project, what is the and that is why when you realize the first loan and Gina or man release, you prioritize your finances.
Now, before
in the next year, there is no doubt to say you are going to also add another funds to it.
Yes.
And I buy necessary. I buy necessary. Now your project, we have handing over notes now. Say phase 2 for instance, near 55%, 56%,
56.
One of the reasons the my project was delay, and say, time almost start here, they realize say Kumasi, water in sewage pipes in supply Kumasi no. So I mean, roundabout one, I say we have to do massive relocation works. It costs some money. A delayed project. I can't be part of project.
But originally, there was a project area, not completion date near time, man.
Well,
originally,
no. Tama, you secure loan there. Now, you see by 2024.
2024, ending 2024.
Exactly, substantially.
That's when you secure the original loan from Spain. Until say the decision was taken, say
MBO. No, to say pay another funding. The process also a delay. And sana when we hit in yes, from Afrexim Bank, they start here. Hit the ground. They realize say there's a variation beyond the ground that they have to deal with, which was about the relocation of the major pipes. And the man, the Yanakophobia and person your politics and I'm over the man, you know, the simple. Oh, once we started construction, crown, or hit TV, and look right to me, man, and
to me very timely.
Exactly, it's another buy. But the Americans are buying, almost see Suame Interchange near one of the projects, or they can't what they call big push program.
Sure,
I'm they call Parliament. I'm a Parliament approve. Say a big push program.
Yes.
Say there will be money for the project. Into the mean, say now finance minister in this audio, the road minister in this audio, say Sikeni ho into any too late. Meanwhile, you are doing several other projects, new commitments. Oh yeah, it is Kenny ho. And now we are going
new commitments.
Suame Interchange na a major projects. Not only for the people of Kumasi and Ashanti region, but for the whole country. Finance Minister Amiati said, this year alone, a buy of 43 billion to spend on roads. Into no, Eden now can say, Sikeni. Into now I said, they almost change Kumasi for because this project is very iconic. Krobia no do chrome say big interchange. It tells you the
Baba Upushi minister will tell you, say, nowhere has he said so abandon 4th year. No, what he's saying said they are managing the project for now. Only 2-tier start. Exactly.
That I agree. But you see in construction,
yes,
and yes, Abia, and Tisabia, Yabon Akoma, Nesukoto, Kodija. Now, Ocas is Cano is 20, Maminton toes 4. Now, next time, you can buy my talk a 5 account. And Tissa construction, we designer. Your desire, you 2. And your desire, you 4. So, come on, be decided to be 2.
Yes.
A change dynamics. Civil works, no one be brave. Structural issues be brave. Until yes, simple, sir. And the construction, your first one. Now we jai na later abano. A home mobilization idea has cost implications and delay complications. Until yes simple sir. But now if you say or more the NS is called any but you see what is even more interesting is that since yesterday morning minority
Ashanti Caucus
which I addressed.
Yes.
Honorable Mr. Asaba back say the situation is not because there's no money.
Okay.
Last week was because there's no money.
Yes.
This also is not because there's no money, and also it's not 2-tier. You heard him. He mentioned 2-tier. They say no, but say no, you're 2-tier, 3 levels, 3-tier. Na and yes, it's same thing. Na omo be start the project to be outer ringway.
Okay.
Which has been on the drawing board. It was part of the project that we had initiated. They want to do it. Great idea. We support it. But because of an intino, we say the traffic now. Originally they thought
okay.
But no crown. So it didn't now. All of a sudden, he's talking about 2 positions. Just last week. He said because of money. This week he's saying because of that project no money in it. But even when you I need time to really evaluate that statement by the minister.
Okay.
Because he says some year outer ringway now the traffic will reduce.
Yes.
There will not be pressure on the Suame roundabout.
Yes.
But I
disagree.
I disagree. Unless he shows me a traffic survey reporter, a confirmer.
Say traffic ni be reduce. They were not me share graphic online. Say graphic online report ni latest explanation I will refer to.
Exactly.
Into almost say the Minister of Roads and Highways, Govt Suame Agboja, has explained that the Suame Interchange is being modified to include the construction of an outer ring road in light of new development within the greater Kumasi area. He said that as much as the original design was not arbitrary, it offered what it could based on the opportunities that existed at the time, and that, quote, with the construction of the outer ring road, an even more appropriate option is being offered. Sword was cut in October 2022 for the construction of a 4-tier interchange at the Suame roundabout in Kumasi, where the N6 from Accra connects the N10 to northern Ghana in Tamale. This is to help improve urban mobility in the city and the Ashanti region at large. It was to be the first 4-tier interchange in the Ashanti region and the second in the country after the Pokwasi interchange in the Greater Accra region. But speaking at a press conference in Accra on Monday, the Minister of Roads, Mr. Agboja, said President Mahama had authorized the construction of the Kumasi Outer Ring Road and that works had started under the big push. The Outer Ring Road, he said, commenced at Atia Junction near Buankra and traversed Dwabeng, Kaseim, I think, Tano Dumase, Ahojo, and finally ended at Akom on the N10. Quote, the new construction offers an even more appropriate connection from the N10 at Akom to the N6 at Buankra and shorten the travel time for vehicles traveling from the northern part of our country to the southern part and vice versa. Construction of the Kumasi Outer Ring Road will divert most of the traffic up north from the city center. This is clear, no?
You see, so we name area we know a bit confused.
Okay.
There's some, truth in what he's saying.
Yes.
But you see, traffic, some interchange.
Yes.
The bulk of that traffic, is coming from Techima.
I know,
yeah, northern part.
A free market centers,
Techima, Kintampo.
Yes.
Tamale, Upper West, Upper East.
Kumasi.
I can say, I want to see a traffic survey report. Majority, over 80% of that traffic, it goes into the city. Because they are traders. Exactly. They are traders.
Yes.
Kumasi Jom. Edi nyoma beton, normal fabi ako.
Yes.
Almost omoba abetu kwan akọ other persons. They are coming to Kejetia for transport. That's what I'm saying, that there's still the traffic will be there. They all can, as if said there. Omo maybe be Kumasi. Omo be omako sunyani and I say omako de be entisa. That is not it. And I will want to see a traffic survey reporter authenticating what the honorable minister is saying.
Okay. Okay.
But the 40, is still relevant.
Even say Omoye outer ring road,
that's still important.
Kumasi here 40.
It's still important. It's still important. And then yes, Bia will be a tenancy in a body team say yenye 4. Engineering studies. And the outer ring way now minister they cannot. That's always been on the plan.
Yeah, but so more shasi.
Well, who's on my chassis? But on my chassis is fine. I'm not. My position is not to contest what the minister is saying. On my chassis, it has always been on the engineers at the ministry. They know this. They order that.
But no moment started.
Yeah, started construction.
Okay.
Yeah. And he says on my start. I don't know, but
I think the story says
on my start.
That's what the story says. The story says okay, I'll say. Let me see. The part of the story.
What he says the president has authorized the construction.
I
don't know, sir, if
President Mahama had authorized the construction of the Kumasi Outer Ring Road, and that works had started under the big push.
Oh, okay.
That's what the story says.
Yes, I can
Okay.
Normally,
say be a feasibility. Say no, so your works are started.
Well,
maybe fine. I'm just hazarding against.
But I'm not interested in contesting that. What I'm saying is, regardless whether they have started or not, this outer ring road, it's been on the drawing board for a long time. I, as a minister, I reviewed it, and it was part of the plans. Ministry projects one. But I'm saying that the traffic na fuel burning now, they are not bypassing; they are coming to the city.
Especially if you the northern part of the country.
They are coming. Kumasi Jom, Kejetia, be other places. And still there will be heavy traffic on that stretch. And to say where jai for TNA now the fofra it's still a problem. That's my position on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obio nim Kumasi bia we nim the volume of traffic in free Techima. And then by adwin. But
Sisiana ne position on the number of tiers are on say initially from the void not also 2 tier and on bay. But I heard the press conference and run or say on bay 3 tier because of the outer ring.
Exactly.
Road.
And I'm saying that
you are saying say 3 tier enough.
The way I will see address it says 3 tier now. There will not be any pressure on there, I disagree.
And then you disagree.
Unless say why traffic survey be, and I want to see that report and confirm what he's saying. Because from as a planner,
yes,
me name said the movement of goods and services. I know very well say, and no man are banning now. They are coming into the city, which is Kumasi and a first Suame so Kumasi.
Oh, minim Kumasi. But in the story, the minister alluded to some challenges for the project. For example, a Haneka said The minister was addressing a press conference in Accra yesterday in response to the NPP Ashanti Caucus's concerns, accusing the government of deliberately trying to change the interchange from a 4-tier to a 2-tier project. Mr. Agboja said the issue about selective funding, as stated by the caucus, was misplaced, and that it is, quote, important to note that not a single pesewa is being diverted from the original project, but rather over 3 billion Ghana cedis has been committed into the outer ring road network. And they will be spending 3 billion on the outer ring road.
But that's a different project.
Yeah, no, a different project. Sure. Challenges. I said the minister said that the full cost of funding the original design was not available to complete the works after Ghana had declared default and gone to the IMF. To enable the start of the project, it was put under an free exempt facility, and after partial disbursement of the advance payment, no payments have been received to date. Mr. Agboja said the main challenge with the original design was not the functionality, but the expropriation cost. The minister said the project budget did not include the full cost of relocating utilities, and that although utilities such as water and electricity at the roundabout were eventually moved, there remained more at Krofrom intersection and Abrepo. Quote, the project did not also account for the full cost of land and property compensation. The north-south leg of the viaduct or the viaduct will have to be partly built on land owned by Garden City Mall, impact the Suame police station, and a 3-story commercial and residential building not budgeted under the project. Quote, a rough estimate of the cost of these will be more than 50% of the cost of constructing the 4-tier interchange, he said. Mr. Agboja said that the Garden City Mall owners had earlier indicated a no objection to putting foundations on the land. However, immediately after the 2024 elections, their lawyers wrote to indicate an intention to sue and physically stopped Rango from using part of their land to store Jesse barriers, something they had no objection to earlier. He said, "Enti really, what can benefit from modification? But yeah, address challenges now. Identify.
Yeah.
Such as a project costing. No
Well, it's possible. The thing is that in construction,
yes,
you meet emerging issues. That's why we call it variations. So, yeah, now there you know, it provides space.
Yes,
for all these things.
For contract variations.
Exactly. It's regular. So money. He's talking about say it will affect certain buildings.
Yes.
I mean all over the world. Projects, especially in the city. There's something we call eminent domain, compulsory acquisition.
Yes.
As long as your project never boa or money,
yes,
we can acquire a building and you be working for more. Then part of it.
Yeah, but then higher cost.
Cost. But you see, we look at we do the cost and benefit analysis, and because in future, this ultimately, so why now in 10 years time, the problem was overcome.
Yes.
And engineers, when they were doing all these things, they knew say police station no can. Yes, bugu.
Okay.
Now you see for and I see be move. All these things were there. They are not new. I mean, in fact, if the engineers from here were no that's ministry, if they didn't identify all these things there, and I feel identified them, it's a serious indictment on them. But I don't think that was the case. We knew they were going to remove all those.
But if the Okasa ancillary cost almost 50% of the project cost and kasa, then
50%.
Also 50% of building the 4-tier. Almost 50% the cost of building the 4-tier. Well, I say compensation
because I've seen baby on my state is 100 million Ghana cedis.
Yes.
And the project cost also was about $140 million. So it cannot be 50%. But it was quite substantial.
A substantial cost.
But not 50%.
But that would then mean say Abai would need to look at the constraints, and then see how best they can still complete the project within time, and also make sure say omunko spending unnecessarily. In the Abai free say okay, because of these challenges, now 4th year no yen to me, yeah, this about 3th year. Now still a outer ring, which would also be beneficial in a way. Why don't you agree with government?
The outer has nothing to do with that. The outer the idea of
okay.
Because you also need to divert traffic
from sure. In the other day, I was saying no.
Kumasi, you know, some kasa no
doubt, sure.
Ghana,
so,
in 2% we year we reduce traffic.
Yes,
we have inner ringway,
yes,
which is ongoing. In fact, I can certain part be there's a Japanese funding.
Okay,
okay, and outer no so any.
Yes,
no so there. So you don't come into the city crowd.
Yes,
these are the ringway.
Sure,
and now you walk what we call the posts. Ebia from Kumasi to Kuntinasi.
Yes.
Kumasi to Barakesi.
Yes.
Kumasi to Obuasi. Kumasi to Accra. Kumasi to Techima.
Yeah.
So when these roads two are good, they reduce
traffic within the city center.
Then also you have the interchanges, which will distribute traffic
within the
city.
Exactly.
And you know, this is how you address the Kumasi.
It's not just the outer ring where the head there was
there. And I'm saying it's been on the drawing board, which the government intends to do, which you support it. In that regards, the Japanese funding was President Kofone Japanese funding be complete.
Yes.
Now there's a part as a government also and also Georgia Hotel, Oak Plaza Hotel, that stretch, and the government of Ghana.
But for example, Minister Rezi issue of Garden City Mall, any owners initially had agreed, say, oh, Mubetime you saw Masas Nibi. Now they are writing to them, say they intend to sue. Omo Makwai in common among your
engagement. Ofanko is one project.
Yes.
One of the reasons they delay power was court actions. Several court actions. There's even a graphic front page. Because of court suits, project is being delayed. These are all part of the compensation. Scale every man was so. It was main prima but at the end of the day, the laws in this country allows government to take over property to do projects or money, and that's the compulsory acquisition you mentioned. So all these things are engagement. One engagement now any issue compulsory acquisitions. And you don't say where is the issue the benefits, entire benefit of the project may die because we'll be a resilient. These are all part of construction management. It happen all the time. Expressway they are going to meet a lot of these things, but they will still do it because.
But see, the other challenge said they were the original loan from Spain Afri-Exim facility so
not enough.
Now with all the constraints if you still insist buying 4th year with all the challenges a minister identify here, where is government going to get the money from?
You see, you are looking at the importance of the project and how it will benefit the people.
Yes.
Enti sikane de na de cocoa bebre ba ton gold bebre ba ton taxes e no na de o management and the Kumasi so no sabi
the second largest
exactly the puto or the boma enchi open regional tax pa after Accra is Kumasi enti o so munya iconic projects like this sabi en say and eboa e mampuntu ba because idea about Ghana inhibiting your development and growth, economic growth is delays and lack of lost productivity. And all kwajuma and so drew an upper 8 traffic in T no draw 9 no be about now send back on so cookum ukujum ekotade and so on you go be so be seen it's the implication be and this is economic management and you see and yes project and yes be was na finish work again it has implication for economic growth economic development and the prosperity of the country.
Of the people. Minister can be about modification on person and the benefit or say the minister said the modification would allow us to save those buildings and allow the businesses to thrive. while offering a new first-class concrete road from Akom on the N10 to Buankra on the N6. In with the modification, no, they will not need to break down buildings. Be also to compensation. Number one.
These modifications,
yes.
Minister Kumasi.
Yes.
I'm a very pragmatic public servant.
Sure.
And I know say all these things we can look at them.
Yes.
I don't have any problem. And if the facts are available and we who say no never bore mine, you will look at it.
Yes.
I'll be prepared to support.
Sure.
But the point I'm making is just last week he didn't say this thing.
One can you
exactly. And now Okoka some for says continue yentimi ye two pe. Now one can say ye 3 or see ye 2 pe later. Now be 4 no. Let's just say that is totally different scenario than what he explained yesterday.
Okay.
And with this new way, in another radio station, when they read this to me, I said I'm prepared to evaluate these plans.
The new way now.
Exactly. I won't come and sit here and say, "Do can you bogus me?" No, I'm not that kind of a public servant. Now I'll look at it, and it says in the with additional information, given the emerging issues, we look at what is best for the country. That one is fine.
Sure.
But my problem is the change of position in less than a week.
In less than a week. Okay.
What is the guarantee? Say next week is so. Or and you see, project I call parliamentar. There are processes of doing that.
Yes.
You do stakeholder engagement. A key stakeholder in this is Parliament.
Parliament. And sign when you Parliament.
I'm a member of the Transport Rules and Transport Committee, and my minister Intimi made this guy say, I'm a member of Parliament in Kumasi. My constituency is directly affected by this project. Having my constituency, Mekasa, Suame, so all those constituencies, share Kumasi. And out of the blue, now I'm making announcement say they change now too. The anxiety, the fears among my people, so we need to also ask government questions, especially when we know say government are committing big money for roads. I say in case the shame for a very possible. So we have to ask questions.
But when said there is one final question always you cannot run away from, not just you personally, but as a party and a former government. The fact that you had 8 years in government, the fact that you had promised the people of Ashanti region, Kumasi in particular, say, Mubesi at a point I must say 5 interchanges for them.
It was part of the plan.
Absolutely. And all of those areas. 5. You know that question would always come back. Say I was saying you had 8 years.
You see, they see we are saying. We experienced global financial crunch.
Yes.
After COVID-19.
Yes.
And all these projects, because a huge projects, you had foreign funding.
NIA. Yes.
And funding some projects in Takrade, PTC, Estole,
yes.
Nungwa, Interchange, Estole. It's in percent Kumasi for Asante for Negana for TRC. So the period MPP buy, we experience a situation that other countries in the world and so experience here. Man, your plans in me, not because we neglected.
But Asante for also will tell you, say, Omo interchanges are more commission work. Why not?
No, funding were different. For instance, interchange tema.
Yes.
And on a Japanese
grant. Motorway interchange.
Exactly. So it's
Palace Mall, the yellow was commissioned close to the elections, and also
yes, and say now our watch. And now the impact on traffic flow in Accra was so great. You see, Metini in Ase, but Accra also no population no.
Yeah.
So why you be being temwa and the city will crash. And there are grace.
Yes.
The population and economic activities in Accra.
Any other city.
And now we do Kumasi. We do compare Takrade and Kumasi
also.
And it wasn't deliberate. say MPC be Kumasi. In fact, here, Honorable Abuja Oba for making statement be say, the bulk of our investment in the road infrastructure are concentrated on Accra and Kumasi. I mean, Greater Accra and Ashanti. And he was concerned about it. And now person just I said, yeah, prioritize Accra and Greater Accra in the Ashanti region. But there's a reason. Because when we are building road projects now, population density is one.
Yes.
The economic activity is one.
Yes.
In my hometown, which is a small village, you cannot build a highway there.
Sure.
Because they don't need it. But you need a highway in
Kumasi, in Accra.
Exactly. And already that should tell you, Christ, yeah, no maybe bro, Ashanti region. In Ashanti region, even though you need interchange now, man, yeah, quite be brave. Inner city roads be brave. Across Kumasi.
Yeah, the inner city roads that every objective observer would agree.
Yeah.
So for inner city roads, they be brave course. And I remember even a course when you became roads minister in a lot of areas in Kumasi. But I think that the fundamental question still is for 8 years and at least one interchange, one.
Yeah, but
just finish
you
one.
Receive a shock, financial shock on this particular one. Yeah,
because now because me kaisa mene o predecessor di nkomo honorable Amwakwata ama oka interchanges oka ofori krum oka eyi awologa I know for krum good to oka awologa oka santase and oka Suame at the time na Suame na mun start and oka Suame and I think oka 2 others okay 2 others be count I mean and now on size crack I say the president could first started Suame no say Suame the end can one the president so for idea no say and no so because I think still it's not completed and
it's working. It's working. That interchange now can say
no the interchange itself every but also now ancillary road project big count
and no my I could see
the Ekofa Ebuakwa no
please turn us in and
we interchanges so I say you see structure new we pa neoma be a beautify interchange no ye jai eno ye nshada enyenka I don't know say na project scope no sa neoma ne nka ho and I'll give an example ohwe Pokwase interchange beautiful edifice but time o maka so o ma wi a me kofa o me say because interchange at least o so ohwe how amaye moye we no Palace Mall beautiful but Pokwase the intesa
me Abraham called ministry or me I had a discussion with the engineers
yes
and we decided say going forward we have to the beautification of the project is also part of the
Palace Mall
that one I insisted that we have to do that and the urban roads department they also assisted in that but I agree with you the key thing is that we learn from this our past and mistakes near I'm hoping say Kwame Abuja he will also do he's very committed to the work he's doing
very well I'm hoping but do you know say NDC aben yitimi wie Suame interchange no esan one more interchange kan wo Kumasi a maso be shepa
baby let's say let me tell you Pokuase the preparation for Pokuase
yes
better you
the preparation for yes I agree
buy design
yes
but you be so
yes
and upgraded design it was 3 tier and you 44 and the government they continue so what I say Kumasi interchange these are our plans say so and I talk about you to balance no
so for Suame no everybody would agree most starting sika buy my mother starting mo anwie say na work be 50-something% mo anwie and no mo ba beto aso but so mo koye ba bi so ofori krom de na no man started here it will be an original project for them
but they don't chase bia because Kumasi no all the major road projects of Kumasi is done by President Kuffour all the major road projects
I said before the Lemes Ba aba be adwuma wo
and I'm saying all the major projects I mean Lemes Ba do a project on be okay
Kumasi who quota first.
But I'm saying the major people who explain quota agreements by such. And then Tabeti Munina Baby. But look at today. Kumasi road infrastructure, you can lay your hands on. Say this government, it's a President Kufuor, President
any President Kufuor.
Yeah, it seems almost baby and say because you theaters.
Yes, Kumasi for theater.
It's true. And Kumasi is a big economic center for and it shouldn't be said omunya votes in and you shouldn't deploy development because of votes. Do that because of economic growth and development. And it shouldn't just be politics in Ghana and be very politics. And on Ghana. President Muhammad Sune can say is to be an act of mediocrity.
If to compare
project to project. They hear major policy initiative like free SHS, like National Health Insurance, and a MPPA superior than any other political party.
But the NDC would also argue, say, to say for Kumasi for the year PJD, Asante for year JD4, in Duko Kumasi, trade is a major thing in Kumasi. Most of the traders know a crowd, Munioma, and Deba Eba Beton. Oma manager must see the number form, which is good for the people of Kumasi. And Ebia Otisi Kurumua. People will remember this government for Sadi and Kumasi.
But the people are also saying that assisting the number form. But in Hungary, still our prices of goods are high, the utilities are high, and all that. And some people are questioning whether see the number form, whether it's real or cosmetic. Inflation, they say inflation was 3.5. And so no matter so still people still are cover to the end and so I was slow. But statistics
so the rate of increase is almost a reducing
rate of increase.
Yes, that's what the inflation does.
But whatever it is, prices was slow. Prices was slow. People were expecting Senka above from say can you see some reduction, but you are not seeing that. Yeah, that the eco markets. Today we are not able to pay cocoa farmers. It's a big issue in the cocoa farming communities. And what can you say why you win? So at the end of the day, your economic indicators should reflect on the ordinary Ghanaian. But so far we are not seeing that.
And not the Kumasi for cattle.
Oh yeah, of course. Now, as I said, sometimes there's some call down. When you say sometimes more call, and some regular. And can we say no? Don't even have to speak to a politician, because politician there, we are. You think say politics
narrative.
You think say, but pure. Go to the cocoa growing areas, talk to them. Go to the markets, talk to them. Of course, you will be 1 or 2 people and this woman organizer. And I say. Of course, MPP women organizing to come, but the majority of them are ordinary people. Are back. And the economy in the market for Nikuta.
Sure, it's ready for
Nikuta market.
Yeah, it's true. My Musa, this final question. Minya Okwine, Kokotua Wejuma. So, when him say, and I know Yamakotua Bayimo, a flag bearer for 2028. The last election in 2024. Flag bearer and a power, the running mate from the Ashanti region. There are calls say on maintaining a running mate. No, do you, as an MP from the region, believe say this time I will say running mate in the same free Ashanti region bill?
The kind I think say Dr. Baumia when yet was a very experienced politician. He's been running mate himself twice. No, vice president
2 terms.
No, running mate quite wide 4 terms. So when President Kufuor will call,
contested 4 times. Sure.
And until I running mate, and also vice president, very experienced. Until the decision will take last time, it wasn't a mistake. The decision will be taken away now. It won't be a mistake. We need to obey. I did penny. Some for the money pressure. So you say, choose way, say we want cry. And me a short on penny phone so on number consultations. And I don't want people to be putting pressure on him. We made very reference to Matthew Puku, person funny be man, excellent guy. Matthew Poko Pepe is a senior person to me, more like a senior brother. I've worked with him in cabinet. Bring power up when your opportunity to be vice president.
Yes.
If he's a Ghana Binya so far so. And indeed, just like many other MPP for almost so a qualifier say on betimi abe running mate. Na Nyakopon yard my president. But I just don't want to put pressure on the man. No, he needs time to reflect and all that. This is my position on the matter.
But at least running mate say free Ashanti region, you would like it.
Oh yeah, the thing is, it makes political sense. That you see, even in the US, when you are choosing your running mate, you are looking for a balance.
Yes.
When you are old,
yes,
you look for another person.
Somebody who is young.
When you are younger, you look for an older person. That is why
Obama
choose
your friend is Biden, who was
far exactly, and that is why George Bush would choose the chin, the balance. Yeah. But you also sometimes you want to do a gender balance. Sometimes you want to do regional balance. In the case of Dr. Baumi, and he comes from a very minority tribe.
Yes. Yes.
And it makes a lot of political sense to choose for majority tribe. Yeah. In this case, MPP, which is the base of the
party, which is Ashanti region.
Ashanti. And you know, there are a lot of considerations, and it makes a lot of sense to choose from Ashanti region. Exactly, especially when you want to maximize
your vote
there. Yeah.
But almost a year and some months into the NDC administration, because of the number of votes in the Ashanti region, a major region for the two political parties.
I agree.
A almost stronghold there. Do you, when you get into the regional Kroma, do you feel that sense? You still have a total hold of the region as a party.
People of Kumasi want MPP back.
Hey.
Yeah, they want MPP back.
Kumasi.
I go to church, I go to markets. Now, say I'm going to address a church event. We had me say mebo omudina akoye. We dem sremo muntu tumu. Sata me beto Dr. Baumi amne Kennedy Obama. Me sremo muntu tumu nyoma yo. Muntu tumu nyoma yo ni hu so na muntu mimra. The people of Ashanti region are looking forward to the return of the MPP back into office. And you know, so Ubina Kase Yatoaba. Now a lot of our people didn't vote. A lot of the people in Kumasi didn't vote. And I'm saying some beer, you know, kika fire home, binum bo fu, binum relax near the day. But you're free, so you who said no. So said Chibe order and Tisa on saying they are looking forward to the return of the MPP. Just like it's other regions. So what na attack the Western but oh no, we are humanitarian. Some they are so reliable. Any other parts of the country, go to the cocoa growing communities. There is seminar. One country more cocoa growing communities. So omoba be tuya sika. Now and then say na me review video be finance minister, agri minister. Me promises I can say. And they are not even able to pay them at all. I understand that there is a crunch meeting,
an emergency cabinet meeting or China,
just to discuss why
just to find resolution to cocoa.
Exactly. In our time, we never had emergency cabinet meeting to address a national crisis. No, we didn't have.
But when there is a crisis, there's also a cabinet issue.
You see, when the crisis is for instance COVID-19 and no there's a natural crisis, natural disaster, that one is different. But we name cocoa every time it's all 2 away. Don't want to be sure no money, you don't want to meet you there.
I'm saying the state mujai cocoa board
everything but on buy when you ska Eddie rules Eddie and no everything be as if said President Mahama, he's been in government before. When you be he's a novice in Ghanaian politics, been an MP, been a deputy minister, vice president before. You know, we'll be a second from the one now we're ready to lead. Until you say we be blame who predecessor there. And no there it's an act of failure if you ask me.
Very well. My men na sena yem fancy. Me say Brano you be science we dim komo bio. We wish you very very well. Why?
Thank you very much. But shut it there. Next time I talk to me. Say me so talk America parent. Is it American man pastor no?
Na Kobe Betras na o question I want to answer.
Concern be am person.
Kobe
See, Minister, there are road projects must start. Any adwuma mo ye ya ye nyina ye hu ye.
Yes.
Ebi ni ofanko to ensawom.
Yeah, ofanko to ensawom, yes.
Ebi ni Kaswa to Winneba. Me kaisa wo crowd ni amin ekoho. Ana mo hwe how am betimi cry stand to Takrade.
The plan was to extend it to Takrade.
I mean from Kaswa through Winneba to Cape Coast Takrade.
And there's several other roads.
Yes.
Now aban de o share adwuma ase na wanwia aban foforo ba obeto.
So that's true.
Now they have many say President Mahama aban omo shede tria bloggers. And then now what you see, I'm sure minister say what year we be. Oko X, Oko YouTube, Oko Facebook. Omafa President Akufo-Addo project ni nyina no ma label no say Mahama project. I'm sure you've seen some of these things. So Enra, when I went to Metro TV, it came up. And I said, look, so now say wo there all infrastructure projects will be friend a big pusher. It doesn't change the fact says our project in will be project. So
a project will be shas.
Will be shas here. Of course. Now say yeah no more e-blocks. But never did we say a Akufo-Addo project. Never did we put a Akufo-Addo's picture on it.
One example is Tepa.
Yeah.
Goso.
Yeah.
Tepa Goso there.
Miana me start me my time me dey contract come Akufo job come aí. Na sia what drew out fat. Certain part. Will be bloggers be go join mama yadio.
I mean,
Inti aye
no, but say the nature of our politics is a competitive politics. At the end of the day, narratives be but the government would want to push their narrative. But it behoves so to respond. But if you don't respond, then it's the narrative.
Oh, fair enough. I don't think a minister may bringing it up.
Yeah,
me personally, I have taken it up, and the attacks on me, it's okay. I don't have a problem. But Mimi Fee say minister the on information in United. Ekutano ne adai.
So we say internal matters. Internal matters. We will discuss that.
Yeah, because once the current government current government will push a narrative say a project I buy for example, so we share the whole way out there. They say Kaswa to Winneba. Kaswa to Winneba. Maybe in the plans they won't say Bedu Cape Coast, but that bit was not very much highlighted. It's a baimba na obekate sword from Winneba to Cape Coast.
The narrative will be pushed. Problem. Yes. Maybe problem here. Project I nim say abani free so why about 70%.
Yes.
It's all fanco project. That's me.
10 lane.
Yes, that's my concern.
No, now almost say
I'm saying
they say if near almost 70%.
70%, exactly.
I'm
saying that several bloggers go on YouTube and TikTok 70%. All over. Say a Mahama project.
Maripo Road.
Yes, I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. And now dear ABI ye dwene ho a ye ntimi anhya I know of course metiase. But your project me kaise minister ye ho adwuma.
Oh yeah.
So na obi bana ye ntimi anwie nti no. There is a deliberate plan.
You know this government they use bloggers and social media a lot.
Yeah, but that is where the world is going. It is who your opposition parties, right? You also have to strategize.
Obi,
don't steal somebody's
no, but I don't name justify taking somebody's
I'm not saying it justifies it.
It doesn't.
I'm not saying it justifies it. But the point is if a blogger, for whatever reason or motive, they push a certain narrative. Now, if we say that narrative, no crowd, what do you do?
I said, I don't think I may call other platforms make up one semi. Send a bay, I have ever gone for who no because me mean my minister, Nina Penny, a Marquanta.
Issues you have been raising, anyway, your cook is raising.
Yes.
Like I may expect to say, Honorable Kwame Abuja, you deal with the issues. But starting here now, you failed your region. I don't think it's politics, no. It's a personal side. I didn't feel my region. I spoke to an issue from based on what you said.
Yes.
And you change your position. I mean, in some or kind of normal, we can look at them. Which I'm fine with that. I told you, say I'm not the kind of public servant. Obi can't me here now, me see Mbungu.
Yes.
But politics of personal attacks and all that, if you say it's not elegant. And you can say
very well.
Encourages her.
Very well. Very well. Honorable, that's it. Kofiton to Abe Cancer. After this short break here, the in discussion segment na Ebe Toa Moso Montreal but Ekosiisen Suni. Stay with us.